the spending is getting out of control. We've been saying that for months. You have Trustee Belcher just set up here and asked, hey, if we're making decisions on vote for the bills, could someone tell us about the $6.8 million grant? We didn't receive an answer. But yet, we're told that the bag is being here. The bag is present, but the bag is empty, guys. It's empty. And we want to make sure that we take great care of you because we love you so much. But yet, I'm receiving calls saying that they've only received 1/3 of their money. So either we have the money or we do not. And it's extremely important that we realize that we do not have the money. If, in regards to the financials, if we had the money and if they were providing us, because they just say, oh, well, we provide you with the financials, or they said we don't, and how do they know that we're in a deficit? Well, if we were provided with the information, there would be no reason for those people to be coming to our door requesting the information that they've already mysteriously provided us with. But it is to let the residents know that we don't have it. All of these services that you all need, we have to have some money to be able to provide you with those services. And it would just be totally irresponsible for us to continue to vote for things, negligent things. And yeah, we don't even know the village's financial true state. We just know it's $4 million on someone's desk. So thank you, residents. I hope that you have the information that you have been asking for in regards to where's the information. Where are we going with this? Why are they not approving these items? Thank you.
That's funny that now it's $4 million. Y'all said it was $7 million. I told you your math ain't math.
She said it was $4 million worth of checks.
Let me answer.
She don't understand. She can't read.
Respond if you want to hear my answer. As it relates to the stuff that Trustee Belcher just stated, you guys have to stop coming here to grandstand. If you feel something's wrong, you guys can reach out and then you can talk to the administration that deals with the day-to-day as it relates to anything you're claiming. It's plenty of times you guys have sat here at a meeting. Please, quiet down for 1 second.
Quiet, please.
Plenty of times you guys have came to a meeting and had misinformation, misleading information. You guys have sat up here and said people said that you didn't pay them. It never was one of our vendors. And y'all got to see that. Y'all got to understand y'all work and know what it is and know what we want to do instead of just fighting and trying to tear each other down. Oh, let me say this. Let me call them people. Let me do this. Okay, it could go both ways, but we're not doing that. We got a swimming pool in our backyard. When y'all know the black and brown kids, that's the number one thing. They cannot swim. So why would we not have that in our backyard? Why we got to go elsewhere and spend money to give our kids swimming lessons? These are the problems.
Quiet, please. You're out of order, ma'am.
So why?
You're out of order.
We shouldn't have to do that. The whole point of all of this is to build the community up, not tear each other down. That is the point of this. And it's sad because you guys ran on my ticket, both of y'all, Trustee Belcher and Trustee House. Both y'all did. And when you ran on my ticket, y'all ran on my vision. My vision is to fix our community.
The vision wasn't to rob the city. The vision wasn't for the FBI. The vision wasn't for you to steal all the money. So don't start talking about the vision.
You know that is defamation. Don't
start talking about the vision. Don't talk about the vision. Tell me what.
They cut the audio.
That way. Okay, but let them do it. What you telling me? You say that and say stuff and don't answer nobody. Answer too. And that's the people of the village of Dolton. Now you don't want to answer the people. You don't want to talk about that else though, right? You don't want to answer the people.
Ladies and gentlemen, quiet down. What you're seeing is you are seeing a complete board that is basically at their wit's end of a supermayor, Tiffany Henyard, who claims that she's a supermayor, and yet there's no transparency. There's no money. People's checks are bouncing. There's no accountability. You got this crazy sexual assault case in Las Vegas where the city went there and had a, economic development village of Dolton retreat that ended up just wildly sideways.
Ladies and gentlemen, quiet down. Order.
Why? I don't even put it on video every time.
Ladies and gentlemen, quiet down.
I don't have to do it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you say it's discussion. I asked you, did we get $6.8 million? You won't answer that. I'm telling you, these people, you can't tell me nothing. These people are emailing us about somebody else's property, talking about they want $7,000. These people. So when you sit here and talk about what have I done, I don't have to sit here and videotape everything I do. But I know what I ain't done. I ain't commingled no money. I ain't stole no money, and I ain't going to jail.
Ladies and gentlemen, quiet down.
I haven't commingled any money. I haven't stolen any money, and I am not going to jail. You know what? I'm gonna go with this young lady here. I'm putting my money on her. And this whole board is, hey, what's going on? Where's the transparency? What is happening with our village? Right? That is what the vast majority of these folks are saying. What in the heck is going on?
That's what I ain't done. You going to jail. Don't worry about it. Nah, because it's the soul.
Okay. You get the picture. I mean, what? That is some insanity, right? And I know some of you have seen this before, but it's just, what is going on? That is how you roughly end up with the Dolton board makes a move against Scandal-Ridden Supermayor Tiffany Henyard. The board appointed a mayor pro-tem to serve in place of Henyard should she refuse to execute her duties. It's a backup plan for the supermayor. The supermayor not doing her job. Yeah, this crazy storyline, right? And I've watched a bunch of these board meetings, and they have progressively gotten worse. And there's some responsible board members who are basically going, what are we supposed to do here? Yeah, you need to get the current mayor out. She's under investigation. You've got all kinds of probes going on. You've got crazy stuff. You've got allegations of sexual abuse, during the company retreat or an economic development thing. There's been another twist in the ongoing saga in the small Chicago town of Dolton. The board members of Dolton appointed a mayor pro temp on Monday to serve in place of embattled Mayor Tiffany Henyard should she refuse to execute her duties. They're saying she's not disclosing where the checks are. The checks are on somebody's desk. They're $4 million in debt. They're $7 million in, their budget is negative. Nobody knows, where has the money gone? Money's been spent before it's come in. Taxes have gone up. Other accusations of the police force is basically her henchman, Tiffany Henyard's henchman, the mayor's henchman. And she is not renewing business licenses of people who aren't on board with her leadership. Trustee Jason House was voted in as mayor pro tem, meaning for the time being at a special meeting, and could sign off on village business and pay bills in Henyard's absence. Without knowing what you're working with financially, how are you going to do that? I mean, you just, whatever money in the account you got, you spend? Henyard, the self-described supermayor of Dolton and Thornton Township supervisor, has faced accusations of corruption and has drawn national attention to the small town, which has a population of 21,500 people. Dolton residents have called for Henyard's resignation, including booing her at the last village board meeting she attended. Booing her? That would be a kind thing. They are absolutely ripping her up and down. I have not stolen any money. I have not commingled any money. I am not going to jail, implying that she has done all three of those things, right? And you've got the FBI probing the finances of this village. The board says Henyard is ignoring important village business and that their move was necessary so that Dolton can function and residents can receive services. They say she missed 25 of the special meetings and refuses to allow some businesses to be put on the agenda for the village's regular meetings. That's interesting. I wonder why. I wonder what those businesses would say. Hey, we haven't been paid. you haven't renewed our license, some combination thereof, right? They are not pleased with Tiffany Henyard. We're really trying to make sure that if something critical comes up, that there's a signature on deck that can move it forward. They are making plans for her departure. Because you have to, if things are going sideways and she's missing meetings, well, then you got to get somebody in there that can do the job, right? This is not a replacement. This ordinance is strictly in the refusal or inability for the mayor to do her duties. An appointed senior trustee to step in and make sure the necessary documents are signed and business moves forward. House said during Monday night's trustee meeting. According to one report, Henyard is expected to veto the action. Now, I just did a podcast on the board decided, you know what? We're going to bring in Lori Lightfoot, former mayor of Chicago, who's an attorney. We're going to bring her in to check, basically the village's books, see what's going on. We're going to have her at $400 an hour get to the bottom of what's going on, the village of Dolton and its finances and its leadership. We're going to have her. Tiffany Henyard just basically said, we are not paying her. Veto. I veto that. We're not doing it. She's already vetoed the board's request to launch a federal investigation into her alleged misuse of funds, and last week vetoed their hiring of former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot, who had been tasked with leading a special investigation into the mayor. Lightfoot was being paid $400 an hour to gather information on Henyard's alleged spending and finance mismanagement. But Henyard said she would not be paid. We're not paying her. Not paying her. Wow. Henyard has been dubbed the worst mayor in America by critics after being accused of misdeeds ranging from weaponizing police raids to spending taxpayer money on luxuries in Las Vegas. Most recently, the scandal-ridden mayor has also come under fire for an alleged sexual assault by one of her allies during the Vegas trip, where the alleged victim claims to have been fired after speaking out. Henyard's cancer charity is also facing scrutiny. I believe the issue was their paperwork was not current, and therefore they should not be collecting donations. So last month, the FBI served 2 federal subpoenas as part of an investigation. Henyard herself was not served. Interesting. They're not going after her personally. They figure they can get the information they need by subpoenaing basically the books. First one was for employment records, personnel files, and disciplinary reports for 25 Dolton employees. That's an interesting angle, right? Including 3 police officers and Keith Freeman, who is the village administrator and Henyard's top aide. Freeman was charged with bankruptcy fraud on Monday. Yeah, that's not looking good. The second subpoena was served specifically on Freeman, asking for records of all companies associated with him and possible ties to the village. In February, it was reported the FBI was investigating the mayor as 6 individuals had reportedly spoken to the agency about her alleged misconduct, including business owners, a former village employee, and 1 or more public officials. You have got just storyline after storyline after storyline coming out of the village of Dolton. It just keeps on going. And if you watch enough of their, these videos are on public record. It's a board meeting and village hall schedules. You go to Village of Dolton and it's right there. Yeah, all this stuff is just right there. And then you watch these videos and you're like, wow. We got some hot topic issues going on. We've got some folks on the city council that are not pleased with their mayor. Henyard has appealed to racial politics amid her scandals before, proclaiming during a previous meeting, y'all got false narratives out there and y'all should be ashamed of all yourselves. Y'all black. Y'all are black. And y'all sitting up here beating and attacking on a black woman that's in power. Y'all should be ashamed of all yourselves. Well, I mean, you can take that approach, but you can also take the approach of, all right, so somebody's not getting paid. Where's the money? What's happening? Where's the accountability? How much in debt are we? Where is the spending happening? Go down the roads of actually squaring the city finances up instead of y'all should be ashamed of all yourselves. It's like, okay, so you, the mayor, are supposed to be responsible ultimately for all this stuff. And you've got people underneath you, like, treasurer and whatnot. I'm sure they've got those positions, people in positions of finance that know how to handle the money. But what's happening is that it feels like you've got the blind leading the blind here, right? Nobody knows how much money there is. Nobody knows how much is being spent. Nobody knows how much of a deficit they're running. Nobody knows whose invoices are being paid, why they're not being paid, how they're being paid. Fox News Digital previously reported that Henyard had been living like a royal with a combined salary of nearly $300,000. Tiffany Henyard, Supermayor, $300K. More than the state's governor, because she holds two positions. And frequent use of beauty vendors, despite the 23,000 residents of the Illinois town having a median income of $24,000. This is not an affluent community, right? And that's why they are freaked out that they could be in debt as much as 7 million, I think it is a number that's been bantered around. Maybe it's 4 million. Who knows? We don't know. Nobody knows. Does Tiffany Henyard know? Who knows? Again, I would say probably not. Probably not. Just no accountability. Spend it. We'll work it out later. We'll get together a committee and figure out the finances, and we'll just kind of keep on going down that road. You've got a mayor that has gone rogue. That's what you've got. One way or the other, Tiffany Henyard has gone rogue, right? Not showing up to meetings. I mean, you've got accusations just screaming during the town meetings. You've only got a certain percentage of people being let in. You got the fire chief coming and saying there's some kind of credible threat. It's being shut down when there's too many people that have come to these meetings. I mean, there's just, and who knows, if any of this is credible. I don't know. And that's why you're going to need to have a little probe action in order to figure it out. When you've got the FBI subpoenaing, information, that's kind of when you're like, this may be a little bit more serious than some kind of internal audit. Yeah, we're going to need to just take a real quick look through the books. Not we're not going to do a financial complete audit. We're not going to do a hard audit on your books. But yeah, we would like to see them for just a scooch of time. Just a scooch of time. We're just looking for shenanigans. Any financial shenanigans in your books. We just want to take a quick peek see and see what's going on. Doesn't sound like that's going to be happening, the way that Tiffany Henyard would want during this whole thing. And there are multiple videos out there on their public website that shows the distrust of the village. What are they called? Supervisors, I think. The village supervisors of Dolton. They are fed up. They're wildly fed up. And like the one woman says, I'm not going to jail. I didn't do anything wrong. Didn't steal any money. I didn't commingle any money, and I'm not going to jail. And you saw Tiffany Henyard's response. She's always just so defensive, and she slings it right back, right? I mean, she's a bully. She is bullying her city council, her village supervisors. And I think the bullying has, it's hit a stretch where that's not going to be possible, and it's not going to be probable moving forward. I think you've got some kind of takeover coming. She's going to have to step down. But, from the video footage that I've seen of Tiffany Henyard, one thing you can be, guaranteed of is she's going to put up a fight. She's going to put up a fight, because some of these council meetings are just explosive. You have got people absolutely screaming at each other. And, a lot of that is that things are so out of control that nobody has control of even something as simple as a town meeting. You hear people yelling over the top of each other. Then you hear Tiffany Henyard, the supermayor, yelling at the clerk, get the call done, right? I'm trying. Stop yelling at me, because that's how combative these meetings are. And moving forward, I think you're going to have, when you've got a pro-tem being placed, all right, guys, we need to come up with plan B. What's our plan B? Because our plan A is not working. So, that's kind of where they sit. This is an interesting case to follow because, you've got all kinds of different little storylines going on here. Any one of them, which could bring the mayor down. And it sounds like, moving forward, I don't know how this village isn't operating. It's simply not operating, right? It's not paying their bills. They're just kind of, time is passing and nobody knows what's going on. And they've just got, at the meetings, they've got, some people being let in, a bunch of people not being let in, and crazy shenanigans going on with the mayor and the mayor denying things and accusations being thrown out there. It's a wild, wild story. Why we're covering it here on News for Reasonable People. All right. That's it for me on this one. Thanks so much for being here. I'll catch up with you in the next one. Bye for now.